Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and we got a couple new teasers from Dead by Daylight for the Chapter 19 DLC. One came out Friday, one came out today. I've been slacking. I didn't make a video about the one on Friday. I did talk about it on stream if you caught any of those streams, but now we'll officially put it into a video and discuss. So here's the first teaser that came out on Friday. So in that teaser, we see that the recording gets to nearly the 4-second mark. The recording is done in 30 frames per second, and it gets to around 3:19 frames, something like that, 3 seconds, 19 frames, and then it rewinds. So on the face of it, it looks as if the killer would have a rewind power of some sort. Usually things are not what they seem in Dead by Daylight, so it's possible that it is a rewind power. Maybe it's something else. By the way, I've been loving all of the theories that y'all have been throwing at me about different things, like this is actually, the Magnum Opus is actually an artificial intelligence creation as a K-pop star that's gone rogue and turned into a killer. A lot of really great theories out there. I've seen another one that says that the survivor is going to be like a K-pop star or some media celebrity, and the killer is going to be their stalker. A lot of really interesting stuff out there. You guys are killing it with these theories that you're throwing at me. Now I'm going to show you something that you can do with the audio from this teaser by running it through a spectrogram. I think I said that right. I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently you can hide hidden messages in audio by analyzing the audio. So I'm going to show you this here now. Okay, so we go to this website where they have a free spectrum analyzer, boot up the spectrogram, and we put that teaser audio here into it, and now we're going to press play, and on analysis we see that the word crazy is hidden here in the sounds. On the rewind, again, crazy appears. Now if we click this button here and go into logarithmic frequency scale and analyze it one more time, crazy gets squished up at the top. What we want to see here is at the bottom, on the rewind, it comes up as crazy scream. So this now sends us in a different direction where maybe it isn't a rewind power at all. This hidden message possibly means that the killer is going to be a singer of some sort, and they're going to be able to use their voice as their power with a sonic scream ability, perhaps. I found that very interesting. Whoever had the big brain and first came up with this idea to analyze the audio in spectrogram, top notch to you. I've seen a few different people post this across the web, but whoever first thought of doing this is brilliant. Apparently Scott Cawthon does this, or has done this before, with the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer, so that's probably what made people think to run this through for spectrum analysis too, but big brains got it on that one. Crazy, and then crazy scream on the rewind. Very interesting. Okay, so since this rewind teaser that came out on Friday, today we got a new one here, which appears to be a recorded telephone conversation between two people, Yun-Jin and Unknown. So I'm going to play the audio on that for you now.
토요일에 잡혔던 인터뷰는 취소했어. 그리고 그날은 스튜디오 근처에도 오지 말고 쉬도록 해. 힘들지도 모르잖아, 그날은.
무슨 특별한 날이야?
토요일이 그날 화재가 난 날로부터 1년이 되는 날이잖아.
그럼 모두가 주목하겠군. 인터뷰 다시 잡아. 할 수 있어.
So my first thought on seeing this was, wow, how am I going to find a program that will translate Korean spoken language into English? But then Lumi reminded me, dude, the words are right there on the screen in Korean. And I'm like, oh yeah. And if you have Google Translate on your phone, you can actually just use the camera setting and point at the language on screen, and it'll translate it. I remember I did this before with Japanese for some of the Oni stuff. So I got my phone out, used my Google Translate app with the camera, and translated the text into English that way. It's not 100% foolproof, but I think we have a pretty good gist of the conversation here between the two people. So the way it translates is Yun-Jin says, I canceled the interview on Saturday. Also, don't come near the studio that day. Take a break. It may be hard that day. And then the unknown voice that we hear says, what's special about that day? And then Yun-Jin says, Saturday is a year since the fire. Then the unknown voice replies, then everyone will pay attention. Hold the interview again. You can do it. So this gives us a little bit more insight and dimension into this character. Are we going to assume that the voice of Yun-Jin is this person here that we see on the profile picture for Dead by Daylight in the takeover? Have they suffered burns to their face in this fire? The mention of the fire. It's kind of curious that this person would put out a tweet that says, feeling it with fire here. Perhaps they are a burn victim. So we do see that this picture here, it looks like perhaps the left hand is a burn. It looks red. Maybe they have suffered burns to their hand and their face. What if this person was a very talented celebrity of some kind, a musician or an actress, and they suffered these burns, and then society was never able to accept them again because all they could see was the disfigurement of their burns, and they were unable to recover from this as part of their career, and that made them jaded against society and people in general because of the attitudes towards something that they had no control of, that they just happened to be in an accident where they were burned and just not accepted by society because of it. So this may indeed be the killer. We really don't know. There is a lot of focus on this character, so I think we are seeing the killer here, but again, nothing is for sure. But it sure is exciting that we are going to get some insight into this soon, perhaps as early as tomorrow. Nothing official yet, but with this many teasers, generally you don't have this many teasers without chapter reveal being very, very close. It's super exciting. I can't wait to see what it is. They have done a great job of keeping us all on the edge of our seats with this element of mystery, and I can't wait for this reveal. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I am super excited and looking forward to it, and I know that so many of you are too. And how do I know that? Okay, so last week when Dead by Daylight's Twitter account got hacked or taken over, my friend Luminius, who you probably know of her work, she does some great animation art on YouTube, putting animations together of our favorite Dead by Daylight characters in hilarious skits. Anyway, so Luminius came to me and says, do you want to get taken over too? And I said, what? And she says, do you want to get hacked too? And I said, oh, so you want to have us all pretend like we've been hacked too and change our PFPs and our banners and stuff? She's like, yeah, you want to play along? I'm like, sure, I'm game. So she came up with the idea. I came up with the names because Magnum Opus means masterpiece. So I looked up some other variations of that. Chef d'oeuvre for me, pièce de résistance for Lumi. And then King said he wanted it on it too, and he became tour de force. So that's what we all did, and we just decided to play along. Again, we don't have any insider knowledge. I saw some people saying, why are the Fog Whisperers doing too? What's happening? And we just did this of our own accord. Nobody told us to. We just thought we would play along, but without even really knowing what we were playing along with, because we don't have any more knowledge than you do. So we're just trying to play along and what we think is going on, but not really knowing. But then something beautiful and magical happened, and I never would have expected it. But I saw so many of you out there too, also playing along, changing your names, changing your profile pictures to the hacked PFP here for Dead by Daylight with the Magnum Opus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look how many people are doing it. And it really touched me. I just thought, look at this, because, you know, there's a lot of times where the devs or even me or King, we get hit with a lot of negativity and pushback and stuff like that. And just to see how many people got on board and did this too and showed their shared excitement of changing their PFPs to this and playing along with Dead by Daylight when none of us actually knows what's going on, but we're still here for it. It was just the most touching, beautiful, magical thing that I have seen in some time. It was just this amazing silent gesture that showed me how many of you are out there. And yeah, it didn't go unnoticed, and I appreciate it. I can't even like fit how many of you did this on the screen. This is just a very small sample size of it. And yeah, it really touched me. So then Lumi says, "Do you want to turn it up a notch?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she says, "Well, I'm making something. Would you tweet it for me if I make it?" And I said, "Okay, well, let me see what you got." So she sends me this, and I'm like, "Sure, I'll tweet it out." And she goes, "If I tweet this out, everybody will suspect or even know right away that I made it because of my background. You, however, Paulie, everybody knows you don't have an artistic bone in your body, so no one will suspect that you made this, and this will help cover that it came from me." And I'm like, okay. Again, it's just in the vein of playing along with the chapter. We really don't know what's going on, so it was the colors of the banner and the profile picture, so I said, sure, I'll go along with part of building the hype, even though this isn't real. And I do generally pride myself on not trying to fool y'all and being as open and upfront as possible. But I thought, this might not be that far from the truth. Who knows? Now that we've seen this mention of a fire, this might not even be close. But I said, sure, I would do it. And then the next thing I know, the tweet for this has like so many retweets and 2,000 likes. And I'm like, Lumi, you're going to get me murdered. I didn't think that this many people were going to latch onto this image. I am going to die. They're going to get the pitchforks and the torches out, and I am going to die. So anyway, we came clean that this wasn't real and that it was made, and King came up with a couple of his own too. Let me show you those. So first, King had his butterfly post here, again in those same blue and purple colors here. And then Yanima, also another animation artist, got in on it and made King this little teaser trailer for Mighty One Entertainment on a television blacking out. But this also is not real. These are fakes. So, I just want to say that none of that was done with any kind of a malice. It's just to hype up the chapter and get everybody hyped. And I think that it succeeded even maybe more than I could have imagined. But there was no malice or trying to fool anybody involved. It was just purely for playing along in the excitement of this upcoming chapter. But this eye is not real. And you know what? It was Lumi all along. Okay, so we talked about what's real and what's fake. Do you think at this point that this is the killer that we're seeing here, not the survivor? Hit me up with your current theories. Where are you at now with this extra level of information? What do you think is going to happen? When do you think it's going to happen? If I get a whiff of when it's happening, I will be sure to be streaming it the moment I possibly can to be here with you, and we can all share in this reveal, because we definitely don't have all the information yet. So I can't wait to find out about this new chapter and the backstory of these characters. Another question is, are we going to get a new map this time? So they're into this updating all of the realms thing right now. We haven't had a new map in the last 2 chapters. If we don't get a new map this time, that means that we'll be looking towards June to get another new map, and that'll mean we'll go a whole year without getting a map. Is that in the possibilities? Are they gonna spruce up the farm in the swamp this time around and then just be done all of the map updates by Anniversary 5? Or are we gonna get a map this time? Or are we gonna get both? Maybe we'll get a new map and some sprucing up of stuff. I would think that if they were going to update maps this time, they would have given us sneaks, pictures of how the maps are changing. They generally do that. We haven't had any of that, so maybe that means that there aren't going to be any map upgrades this time, and we are going to get a new map for this chapter. Another interesting thing that we'll find out soon, trademark, right? So that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.